Brent here, coming to you from my Vision Pro. This morning I had a problem where I was starting to work on my computer and the volume was up, and a calendar alert woke up my wife. And so I was like, hey, how do I schedule this so that my volume is muted every night, so when I'm sleeping in a hotel room I'm not woken up by my Mac? And it turns out that Shortcuts doesn't have a scheduling feature in the way that the Shortcuts on iOS does. Shortcuts on Mac is missing this. And so I went down a rabbit hole, and I'm here to present to you how you can schedule your shortcuts on the Mac using no third-party utilities. So let's first thing. All right, now let's create a shortcut. So I'm going to hit the plus button to create this shortcut. We're going to do a couple things with this shortcut. Let's look for a play sound action and a notification action, so we can have some feedback when we are using this shortcut. So it'll play a sound and it'll say hello world. So we hit play sound and boom, the hello world comes up as a notification as well. So, it should make it easier to test this than just doing a mute, which wouldn't show too much. We will call this play sound with the shortcut name, and I'm going to close it, and the shortcut lives here. Now, what's nice is you can run your shortcuts from the command line using the shortcuts command. So this is what's going to enable us to do the scheduling. So shortcuts run, and then you put the name of the shortcut here. And you also want to put that in quotation marks if you have spaces in the name. And you see I hit return, and it played the sound and it did a notification. So the shortcut is working from the command line. We've tested it there. So that's very cool. Now, the next step in scheduling the shortcut is to use a thing called LaunchControlD. Now, LaunchControlD is what is a kind of a native Mac Apple implementation of how you can run and schedule programs. A lot of other people might be familiar with cron. I decided to use this method instead because it's a method, blessed by Apple. So I'm now going to go into the text editor, and we're going to go and work out how to use the launch control daemon, LaunchControlD, and how to configure that to schedule running shortcuts. LaunchControlD is Apple's kind of blessed way of running and launching programs on the Mac. A lot of you may be familiar with the cron tab. That's the Unix way of doing it. This is one that Apple has had in the system for many, many years. And I wanted to just use this blessed way, and I think you'll find that it will show up in the interface in some ways that are useful. So what I've done here is I've opened up the folder, and maybe let's go to the folder in the terminal. So you can go to your user directory, library, and then LaunchAgents. Okay, and so if we go into this directory, we will see some plist files of some apps that launch things or do some regular, they might do some regular tasks. And I've already tested this shortcut, so I have one there already, and we're going to use this as a template. Okay, so this is in your local file. You don't need any root access for this one. I've already moved to this folder in Z, my new preferred text editor, and so you can see LaunchAgents is here, and those three files are there. And we have this plist file. So it's a plist file is what you do to configure launching the shortcuts. And what we'll do is we'll go through this plist file. I think first let's create a new file here, and we'll name it based on my website in the reverse order. So org.deverman.playSoundShortcut.plist. And so plist is important, so that's the file suffix. Okay, so now we have an empty file. We'll go back to the previous shortcut, and we're going to copy this plist file here, and we'll go through it. So basically, this plist file specifies to the launch daemon what to do. So it's a much more involved cron tab file. And what you can see is we have the label, which is based on the file name here. So I want to, without the plist, so what I want to do is I want to say play sound shortcut. So I've renamed it here to match the file name here, but without the plist. Then you have a key called program argument. So this is going to signal, hey, I want to run this program. So we have the shortcuts program we just ran in the terminal, but the full path to it in user bin. And then we have the arguments to that. So we'll have the run argument, and we'll have the name of our shortcut that we're going to run. So our shortcut name is play sound, which means we're going to rename that there. And then it has a start calendar interval. So this is the key that's saying, hey, I want you to schedule this on a regular basis. This means we're going to schedule it for 1 a.m. Every day. Probably I want to change this to be another time, but you can change it to whatever time you want. I think it's using 24-hour time, so just keep that in mind. And now we can save this here, and then what you end up doing is we've saved it in this folder. We can probably list it and have it show up. And now you can see that a notification came up with shortcuts as an item that can run in the background. You can manage this in login items and extensions. So this background items was added. And so normally what you might have to do is run a command to be able to say, hey, there's a new background process, but it looks like the system checks this folder regularly, and if something's there, it will add it, and that's what it did. And conveniently, you can manage these in the system settings. So I'm going to click on this. You can manage this in system settings. So I'm going to go to the system settings, and we're going to find this shortcut. Once we go into system settings, you're going to go to General, scroll down to Login Items and Extensions. Here you're going to have everything that's going to be happening in the background. So I've got a lot of background items, as you can see, and we have the shortcuts here. And so I have two shortcuts. I'm not sure which is which. I can click on, you can see here that the shortcut is set to run. So what's kind of nice is you don't have to edit this file again if you want to disable it. But then, and we also are allowed to click on this, and it's going to open up the shortcuts file. So it's saying, hey, this is the command line utility that I'm running. It doesn't take us to the plist file, which would be nice, right? But I guess it's more of a security thing to have this here, so you can see, oh, hey, what program is running? Why is there a command line program there? Anyway, we have two shortcuts running, and we have two shortcuts that we've added here. I haven't figured out how to get the name to show up. If there's a way, leave a message in the comments. I'd appreciate it. But anyway, now this thing will run on a regular schedule based on what we've put here. And like if you are a little bit weary to edit these shortcut files, if you're a little weary to edit these plist files to schedule your shortcuts, then I did find a tool that can help you edit these, and it probably makes your life a lot easier. Of course, this is something that is paid. So if you want to, get some leverage, you can buy this tool. It's only 24 bucks. And then you can see here that I have the shortcuts and all this stuff that is running based on Launch Damien. So I have my mute volume shortcut and I have the play sound shortcut. And it specifically has support for setting up shortcuts. But you can even go here and you can see the exact command that is being run, which is the command we ran in the terminal. And it also has support for shell scripts and Apple scripts, it looks like, and PHP and Python, Ruby, and Swift even, which is something I'll probably do another video on. So then we have the shortcut here. You can even choose your shortcuts. And then there's probably more complex scheduling that you can do here. If you press here, you can repeat an interval every hour, every day, every week. So that's quite nice, like you don't have to think too much about all these settings, and you can enable and disable. But you got to buy the license to be able to save this. But it's at least a good program to view what you did and see if you did it correctly. So take a look at Lingon. I'll put a link to it in the YouTube description in case you want to download it. All right, so we've gone through creating the shortcut, setting up the plist file, how to run a shortcut from the command line and put those parameters in the plist file, how to schedule the shortcut in the plist file, and verify and validate that the shortcut is actually going to run. And so I think that's enough for this video. If you have other suggestions on how to automate shortcuts at specific times, I'd appreciate you to leave a comment and like this video. I'll see you later in another video, Mac friends. Thank you very much.